Hello and welcome to today's episode. I'm thrilled you're joining me as we dive into a topic that so many English learners are curious about: how to master English the easy way. If you've ever felt like learning English is overwhelming, time-consuming, or just plain tough, then this episode is made for you. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sarah, and I've spent years helping learners like you unlock the secrets to learning English in a way that's natural, fun, and stress-free. Over time, I've seen countless students struggle with old-school methods, feeling like they're stuck or not improving fast enough. But here's the good news: learning English doesn't have to be a grind. It can be simple, enjoyable, and yes, effortless. You might be wondering, can learning English really be effortless? Absolutely. And it starts with rethinking how you approach it. You don't need to spend hours memorizing rules or cramming vocabulary lists. Instead, you can make small, smart changes to your daily routine that help you improve without stress or frustration. In this episode, I'm sharing practical, easy-to-use tips that you can start applying today, whether you're a beginner or have been learning English for years. You'll discover how to weave English into your life, build habits for speaking and listening, and most importantly, make learning feel exciting and motivating. Here's the key takeaway: you're already capable of mastering English, and it doesn't have to feel like hard work. The secret lies in approaching it with patience, consistency, and a positive outlook. So grab a comfy seat, relax, and let's dive into the world of effortless English learning together. What does effortless learning mean? Before we jump into the strategies that make mastering English easier, let's explore what effortless learning really means. You might be thinking, can something as complex as a language really be learned without hard work? The answer is yes, and here's why. When we think of learning, we often picture sitting at a desk, poring over textbooks, memorizing grammar rules, or stressing about getting every word right. But this traditional approach isn't always the best way to learn a language. Instead of viewing learning as a stressful, effort-heavy task, imagine it as something natural, enjoyable, and even relaxing. Effortless learning is about removing the pressure and frustration that often come with studying a language. It's about finding methods that feel so seamless and fun that you barely notice you're learning. Picture this: instead of forcing yourself to study for hours or worrying about mistakes, you're absorbing English by living in it through conversations, movies, or music. It might sound too good to be true, but it's not. Many successful language learners use this approach. Here's how you can start making English learning feel effortless. Shift your mindset. First step to mastering English the easy way is changing how you think about learning. Many learners believe they need to work tirelessly or memorize everything to succeed, but it doesn't have to be a struggle. By adopting a positive mindset and focusing on progress over perfection, you'll enjoy the process more. The less pressure you put on yourself, the more natural your learning will feel. Learn through real experience. One common mistake is focusing too much on memorizing vocabulary or grammar rules. While these are important, they shouldn't be your only focus. Instead, try learning English through real-life experiences like listening to episodes, watching shows, reading books, or chatting with others in English. When you encounter English in authentic situations, you absorb it naturally without needing to memorize every detail. Think about how you learned your native language as a child. You didn't study grammar or vocabulary lists. You learned by listening to your family, watching TV, and playing with friends. The same principle applies to English. The more you surround yourself with it, the easier it becomes to understand and use. Make English part of your routine. Effortless learning happens when English becomes a natural part of your daily life. Instead of carving out hours for study, weave English into things you already do. Listen to an English episode during your commute. Watch movies with English subtitles, or switch your phone's language to English. These small changes add up, helping you get comfortable with the language without feeling like you're studying. Focus on listening and speaking. For many learners, Speaking English fluently is a big challenge. We often worry about making mistakes, which holds us back. But one of the easiest ways to learn English is by focusing on listening and speaking the natural ways we learn languages. Regular listening helps you pick up new words, phrases, and sentence patterns while speaking. Practice builds confidence. Don't aim for perfection, just aim to get comfortable using the language. Celebrate small wins. Mastering English effortlessly and about being perfect right away. It's about steady progress. Celebrate every small victory, like understanding a new phrase, holding a short conversation, or watching a show without subtitles. These moments keep you motivated and show you're moving forward. Even if it's gradual, consistency over intensity. Key to effortless learning is consistency, not long, intense study sessions. Even 15 minutes of practice each day can lead to big improvements over time. Short, regular practice is far more effective than cramming for hours once a week. Make it fun. Finally, learning English should be fun. If you enjoy the process, you'll naturally want to keep going. Find activities you love, whether it's music, movies, games, or chatting with friends, and use them to practice English. The more fun you have, the less it feels like work, and the faster you'll improve. Immerse yourself in English. One of the most powerful ways to master English is by immersing yourself in the language. But what does immersion mean? And how can you do it effectively? Immersion is about surrounding yourself with English as much as possible through listening, reading, speaking, or even thinking in the language until it becomes a natural part of your life. Just like when you learn your first language as a kid, you didn't study rules, you were surrounded by the language every day. Immersion works the same way for English. The more you're exposed to it, the easier it is to understand, speak, and think in it. Here's how to immerse yourself effectively. Listen to English regularly. Listening is one of the best ways to immerse yourself in English. The more you listen, the more you'll recognize words, understand sentence structures, and get a feel for the language's flow. You can listen while doing other things, making it easy to fit into your day. Try these podcasts. Choose podcasts that match your interests and level, whether beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Look for storytelling, interviews, or discussions to practice listening. Music. Listen to English songs and focus on the lyrics to understand their meaning. Singing along can improve your pronunciation and fluency. Audiobooks. Combine listening and reading by following along with the text of an audiobook. This helps you learn vocabulary in context. Movies and shows. Watch English movies or TV shows, starting with subtitles in your native language, then switching to English subtitles as you improve. This exposes you to everyday phrases, slang, and expressions. Change your environment. Make English a constant presence in your surroundings. Here are some ideas. Switch device settings. Change your phone, social media, or computer to English to see the language daily. Label your home. Stick notes on objects like your fridge or desk with their English names too. Reinforce vocabulary. Follow English content online. Follow English-speaking accounts on Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter to stay connected to the language. Asterisk. Engage in conversations. Speaking with others is a fantastic way to immerse yourself. Conversations let you practice in real-life situations and build confidence. Don't worry about mistakes, they're part of learning. Try these. Language exchange. Find a partner learning your native language and split time between English and your language. Apps like Tandem or HelloTalk can help. Speak with friends. If you have English-speaking friends, practice with them, even for a few minutes daily. Join online classes or clubs. Platforms like Italki or Cambly offer lessons with native speakers. Or join speaking clubs to talk with other learners. Read in English daily. Reading boosts your vocabulary, teaches sentence structure, and exposes you to different writing styles. Start with books. Pick books at your level, like children's books for beginners, and work up to more complex texts. Articles and blogs. Read about topics you love to learn relevant vocabulary. News. Websites like BBC Learning English or News In Levels offers simplified news articles for learners. Written English writing helps solidify vocabulary and grammar. Keep a journal to write about your day or thoughts. Or join online forums and comment sections to practice. The more you write, the more confident you'll become. The power of consistent immersion works best when you're consistent. The more time you spend with English, the more natural it feels. You won't see changes overnight, but over time, your ability to understand, speak, and think in English will grow. Focus on listening and speaking. Listening and speaking are the heart of language learning. They're often the hardest skills to master in a classroom, but by prioritizing them in your daily life, you'll make learning English feel effortless. Here's why they matter and how to improve. Why listening and speaking matter. Listening helps you understand how English is used in real life. You'll hear pronunciation, sentence flow, and context, improving your vocabulary and comprehension naturally. Speaking builds confidence and fluency. The more you speak, the more comfortable you become, and it reinforces what you've learned. Connection. Listening feeds into speaking. Hearing new words and phrases prepares you to use them in conversations. How to improve. Listen intangible content. Listen to episode, music, or shows you love. If you're engaged, you'll want to listen more. Subtitles, transcripts. Start with native language subtitles for movies, then switch to English. Use episode transcripts to connect spoken and written words. Active listening. Focus on details like vocabulary or idioms to improve comprehension. Slow speech. Choose beginner-friendly resources with clear, slower speech to build confidence. How to improve speaking. Speak often. Practice alone by talking about your day or record yourself to review. Don't fear mistakes. Mistakes are normal. Learn from them and keep going. Language partners. Use apps like Tandem to find exchange partners. Join clubs. Participate in online speaking clubs or classes for regular practice. Imitate natives. Shadow native speakers to improve pronunciation and fluency. Set goals. Aim for small goals, like a 5-minute conversation daily. Combining listening and speaking work together. The more you listen, the more you'll understand and use in conversations. Regular speaking reinforces what you hear, creating a cycle that makes learning feel natural. Learn vocabulary in context. Memorizing vocabulary lists can be tedious and ineffective. Instead, learn words in context to understand their meaning, usage, and nuances naturally. Here's why and how. Why context matters. Retention. Words learned in sentences or stories are easier to remember. Nuances. Context shows how words like bank, river, or financial are used. Natural use. You'll learn correct pronunciation and grammar. Engagement. Learning through stories or conversations is fun and motivating. How to learn vocabulary in context. Read stories, articles, choose books or blogs you enjoy to encounter words naturally. Guess meanings from context. Watch shows, movies, hear words in conversations, and see body language for added context. Use subtitles to connect spoken and written words. Listen to podcasts, audiobooks. Summarize what you hear using new words to reinforce learning. Converse. Use new words in talks with friends or language partners. Use sentences. Write new words and sentences to understand their usage. Group by themes. Learn related words, e.g. food, delicious, spicy for better recall. Personal connections. Relate words to your life, e.g. adventure to a trip for deeper meaning. Repetition. Review words in different contexts to embed them in memory. Practice consistently. Not intensive. Instant practice beats intense study sessions for long-term success. Here's why and how to do it. Why consistency matters. Retention. Gradual practice helps your brain absorb information. Avoids burnout. Short sessions prevent frustration. Builds habits. Daily practice becomes routine. Enhances fluency. Regular exposure helps you think in English. How to practice consistent. List a schedule. Practice 15 to 20 minutes daily. Incorporate English. Listen to episode, watch shows, or read during daily activities. Use apps. Apps like Duolingo offer quick lessons. For busy schedules, speak regularly. Schedule short conversations with partners. Track progress. Log new words or achievements to stay motivated. Set goals. Aim for small wins. Like learning 10 words weekly. Make it fun. Choose activities you enjoy to stay engaged. Avoid intensity. Short, regular practice is better than long, exhausting sessions. Stay positive and motivator. Positive mindset is crucial for effortless learning. Here's why and how to stay motivated. Why positivity matters overcomes doubts. A positive attitude helps you push through challenges, increases motivation. Believing in yourself keeps you committed, promotes resilience. View obstacles as growth opportunities. Improves retention. Positive emotions enhance memory. How to stay motivated? Set clear goals. Break goals into small steps, like learning 5 words weekly. Track progress. Use a journal to see improvements. Find your why. Remind yourself why you're learning, e.g., travel, career. Celebrate wins. Reward small achievements to stay excited. Mix methods. Try new activities to keep learning fresh. Positive influences. Join supportive communities or find encouraging partners. Embrace mistakes. Learn from errors without frustration. Handle frustration. Take breaks and switch activities if stuck. Stay patient. Trust that progress comes with time. Conclusion: mastering English doesn't have to feel like a chore. By adopting the right mindset, practicing consistently, and using fun, natural techniques, you can make learning enjoyable and effective. We've covered key strategies: shifting your mindset, immersing yourself in English, focusing on listening and speaking, learning vocabulary in context, and staying consistent. These steps create a learning environment where English feels like a natural part of your life, not a forced task. Remember, learning English is a journey, not a race. Be patient, focus on progress, and celebrate every step forward. Stay positive, even when it's tough, and keep your goals in sight. English is more than a language, it's a gateway to new experiences, cultures, and opportunities. Whether you're just starting or refining your skills, keep applying these tips, stay consistent, and enjoy the process. You're already on the path to mastering English the easy way. Thank you for joining me today. I hope these tips inspire confidence and excitement in your journey. Keep practicing, stay positive, and you've got this.